You ever notice how you can pour your heart into your work, deliver results, solve problems no one else wants to touch, stay late, stretch yourself, hold everything together, and somehow, when it's time for recognition, your name is missing? Not ignored, not dismissed, just not there. It's almost surreal, like you're watching the moment from outside your own body. You're in the room. You were part of every tough moment. You held the team steady. You made the decisions that turned chaos into order. And still, when credit finally arrives, you're reduced to a footnote, if you're even mentioned at all. And you just sit there, smiling politely, like nothing happened. The first time it happens, you brush it off. You tell yourself, it's fine. The people who need to know. But the truth? It stings. Not like an angry sting, more like a quiet, slow ache, something that builds under the surface, something that whispers, "Am I invisible?" You start replaying everything you did, every late night, every fix, every solution. You wonder whether excellence is really supposed to speak for itself. Maybe recognition just naturally comes to those who work hard enough. Maybe visibility is a reward for diligence. But if you've been in the real world long enough, you know that's not always true. Recognition doesn't automatically follow effort, and the silence around your work can quietly erase your impact. History shows this clearly, and no one illustrates it better than Julius Caesar. Before Caesar became the legendary figure whose name still echoes centuries later, he was just another Roman politician trying to survive a brutal, cutthroat system. He was doing the real work, leading military campaigns, negotiating alliances, expanding Roman influence, taking on responsibilities nobody else wanted. He was delivering massive impact. But Rome? Rome barely noticed. Because in Caesar's world, recognition didn't follow impact. Recognition followed storytelling. And Caesar's rivals controlled the story. They controlled the Senate, public perception, political conversations. They had the networks, the influence, the power to shape how every event was understood. So no matter how many battles Caesar won, no matter how many territories he secured, Rome rarely heard the truth about his leadership. And if they did, it was twisted, softened, or reshaped to make someone else look good. That's when Caesar realized something most of us learn the hard way. Great work does not speak for itself. So he made a bold, strategic decision. He took control of his own narrative. He began writing detailed, vivid accounts of everything happening in his campaigns, the strategies, the victories, the challenges, the leadership decisions. And he sent those accounts straight back to Rome, not to the Senate, to the people. He made his impact visible through his own words, and Rome paid attention. People understood the battles, they saw his leadership, and they remembered his name. That refusal to stay silent reshaped Caesar's destiny. Now bring this back to your world. We like to believe modern workplaces operate on fairness, transparency, and accuracy. But here's the reality. Humans notice what they see, not what they never hear about. And most careers don't stall because of lack of effort. They stall because of lack of visibility. A leader might value your work deeply, but if they can't clearly explain what you've accomplished, they can't advocate for you. A promotion committee can only reward what is documented. Senior leadership can only appreciate contributions they actually understand. Your career grows on what is visible, not what's buried in late nights and quiet effort. You're not being overlooked because your work isn't good. You're being overlooked because no one carried the story of that work to the right places. That's what Caesar figured out centuries ago. He wasn't arrogant, he wasn't bragging, he wasn't exaggerating. He was documenting, he was clarifying, he was making his impact visible. And that's what modern professionals must do too. You're not bragging when you document your achievements. You're not arrogant for summarizing your impact. You're not self-centered for sharing what you accomplished. You're taking ownership of your story. Because in the real world, visibility is not self-promotion. Visibility is clarity. Visibility is strategy. Visibility is survival. And if Caesar needed it to rise, why would your career be any different? If this message hits something in you, start small. Share one clear win today, one impact, one solved problem. This is just the beginning. In the next episode, we'll explore another ancient leader whose approach to influence and power can completely change how you rise in your career. The next story might hold the key to your breakthrough.